Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ben from Rook Films, and today this is what we're going to be creating. So we got a lot of cool things going on here. We have a few adjustment layers and some different color actions, some different glitching effects, and some cool sound effects. But this effect is actually really easy to make, so I won't stall for much more. Let's just get right into it. Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and open up a new project and then click on New Composition. We're going to keep this 1920 by 1080, but I'm going to rename the composition name to Glitch Effect Tutorial. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to go to my project and bring in my glitch folder. Now let's just take a look at the contents really quick. We have a sound effect. It's actually a compilation of sound effects. You can find these just by searching up glitch sound effects on YouTube, and you'll find a plethora of options. Then we have our Party Fox logo. Now, Party Fox, he is a local producer, produces music, and he asked me to make this for him. So shout out to him. I'll have him linked in the description. And then we have our glitch background footage. I'll also have a link to this in the description. This is ultimately what you're going to need for this effect. So let's get right into it. We're going to bring in our Party Fox logo. Now, if you have a transparent logo that you're working with, that is amazing. This one isn't. So if I go to transparency, we can see that we do have a black background. So we don't want this. Now, if you do have a transparent background, you can skip this part, but for all intents and purposes, I need to individually just mask this out really quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to time lapse this part. Basically, all you need to do is just take your pen tool, if you don't have a transparent layer, and just mask around the basics of it. So I'm just going around here, here, here. Okay, great. So now we can see when we click M on our keyboard, we can see our masks around our layer. Now if we go to our transparency settings, we can see that the exterior black is now gone. Now you don't have to worry about the interior, you just need to worry about the exterior, and I'll explain why we needed this later on in the tutorial. So we can go ahead and close this up for right now. Let's bring in our glitch stock footage, and we'll turn it off for now because we want to move on and get our adjustment layers in here. So we'll go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer. We'll name this Glitch. All right, and then we'll go ahead and type in on the Effects and Presets tab, Displacement Map. Just go ahead and drag this over onto our adjustment layer. And immediately we'll just go to Displacement Map Layer and change this to Glitch. And almost instantaneously we can see that our glitch effect is already going to work. Now in the original video that I made, what I did was I pulled this adjustment layer down to a certain spot, and then what I did was I went to my displacement map and changed the horizontal and vertical values, which is going to offset your logo. Now, as you scrub through, you can see that it's animating in a very large way. But what we can do is we can duplicate this. No, not that part. We can duplicate the layer and then just move it off into a different time. And then we can kind of make it look more subtle. So you can have more subtle effects and more intense effects at different points in time. So we have a burst and then a little tiny little glitch. Let's just run through this real quick. Big, then more subtle. So you can kind of play with these to your liking. It's really all up to you. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate our logo 3 times. And then we'll rename the first one to blue, name the second to red, and the third to green. And then we're going to look for effect in our effects and presets tabs called set channels. There it is right there. We will select all 3 of these colors and double click on set channels to bring it in. And then we'll go to our blue layer and turn off the reds and greens so that blue is the only one remaining. And then we'll go to reds, we'll turn off greens and blues, and then we'll go to green and turn off red and blue. And then we'll change the transfer mode of all of these to screen so that they blend all the way through. And then we'll select our blue layer, maybe move it off to the right, take our red, move it off to the left, and then maybe take our green and move it upwards. So now you can see that we already have this really cool glitch distortion effect. Now, I don't like leaving these colors on for the entire time. So what I did in my original was I just selected all of these and moved them to the point where they would line up with our actual glitch. So just split the layer and then delete those. So that now we only have the colors come on when our glitch effect is happening. And you can make these more intense as you go. It's really all up to you. It might be smarter to make them intense if you're only going to add them on when the glitch is happening. And then what I did was I just duplicated these again, selected all of them, Command D or Control D, move them to where my glitch was happening, maybe even a few frames afterwards if you want to see how that looks. And now we have the awesome glitch effect. Now that might be a little bit too much. Head over to the end. You can kind of just tweak it as you go. Again, it's all up to you. There's our blues. I think our greens got mixed up a little bit. There we go. That looks a lot better. So you can kind of move the colors around. See, it's kind of more bluish over here and then a little bit more reddish over here. You can kind of just mess around with it in that way. Okay, so now onto sound effects. I just pulled these sound effects from YouTube. I just went down into the audio settings, went to waveform. You can see when some of these glitching effects are happening. You kind of just zoom it to when one effect is happening. And I'll just go to edit, split the layer, delete, and then just duplicate it, move it over, go into the waveform again, and try to find out when another effect happens. Zoom over to that, close in on it. And then now when we look at it, this is what we have. Okay guys, that is the tutorial. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more After Effects tutorials and animations. Once again, I am Ben from Rook Films, and I will see you guys in the next one.